Hey, what is going on everybody? My name is Dean. Welcome to another Cricket 19 demo video for obviously Cricket 19. And today we're going to be focusing on one of the new features of the game, the scenario mode, because we do have inside the Cricket Academy the scenario designer. In amongst all the designer tools, you've got your creator tools where you can obviously create teams, players, bats, stadiums, logos, umpires, and then obviously in the community where you can share everything. But we're going to go and use the designer tools for these options you'll be familiar with: creating a field, creating a tour, creating a competition, creating your own match. We made our 2-2 matches in this match type designer in what was it called? Ashes Cricket. And now we're going to be looking at the scenario designer, which is the brand new one. So we're going to have a look here. New men's scenario. We're going to pick Australia, sure. You can pick your league. You can pick your... Oh, Breno is now playing the Cricket 19 demo. Okay. We can pick your team, international, domestic, whatever you want. For this purpose of this video, let's go Australia versus England. You can pick your uniform. We'll go with the test one. We'll go with the test one for Australia. Well, I'm flying through this here. I might have pressed A a little too many times. Where are we at here? Test for England. Then you got three options here. So you can pick your stadiums, and here we go. These are all of the stadiums in the game. I actually was probably going to make a separate video on this, but there is a lot here. We got Perth, Edgbaston, Emirates Old Trafford, Emerald, Headingley, Kia Oval, Lords, the Wacker, North Sydney Oval, Monaco, the Gabba, Coffs Harbour. So all of the ones from all the previous games, and now we have all of the English ones as well. So let's bring up a test here. Ashes Australia 2017. Alright, so let's do the MCG test match from 2017. Extremely boring test match, might I add. It was a draw, and Australia was currently up 3-0 at the time, so they'd retained the Ashes. So you can pick pretty much all of your options here, including difficulty. I feel like this is something you can do later on. Oh, you can actually make a custom difficulty. Now, I don't know if you set the difficulty or if that is something that can be chosen and done later. For the purposes, let's just chuck it on 10 a.m. on day 5, because that's what this scenario was. It was day 5. I'm pretty sure the whole last day of this test match rained out anyway. But let's, just for the purposes of it, let's create the scenario. We're on day 5. You can actually, you can change the weather. Where is that? Temperature. It's hot. Rain. There's no rain. We don't want any rain. None. And then you can pick your team. So if you wanted to make a historic team, of course you would have picked that historic team in your team select. But we can, match these to whatever those real world teams were at the time, and then we can make the scenario. So basically, you call it whatever you want. You can say, reach a strike rate greater than X. Ooh, so this is where you get really interesting with your scenario here, because there are just more options than winning the match for the scenario to be successful. So if you win without bowling a no ball, if you win without conceding a match, if you draw the match, if you get 3 people out, you win the test match, if you get a billion stumpings, if you hit as many 4s or 6s, you could make a scenario that's, if you hit 20, if you hit 5 6s with, I don't know, not with a specific player, because I think that seems a little very specific, but that's pretty cool. So for the scenario, this one, let's have it as draw match, because Australia was a little behind or whatever, or something like, actually, is there something that's like make runs? Score X runs. Alright, so we can go up to 1,000 runs. Let's go with score. You gotta score, let's say, 200 runs. So we're gonna go, you gotta score 200 runs, and then you can edit the innings. So you can exactly pick the batter, you can pick the dismissal method. Let's say he was LBW. It's no fielder for an LBW. But it's going to be bowled by Pat Cummins. So there's another thing here. If you didn't want to fill out the entire scorecard, but you knew exactly sort of what you wanted the lead to sort of be, basically you hit simulate here and you go, hey, I wanted them to make What did England make in the first innings? They made... Well, let's do the reversal. Australia... England should not have been batting first. This is good. Okay, so... Obviously, the simulation method probably has a little bit of work to be done because it literally just made my top two guys score ridiculous scores. And that's probably my fault because I made it off 12 overs. Actually, no, the simulation method is fine. It was just the fact that I only inputted 12 overs for it to simulate. So well done to me for being a complete and utter fool. I need someone else to get out here. I need one wicket to fall. Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing here. But someone who does have a clue at actually putting this together will be able to put something really good together. Can we go back to the first innings? Or are we still now in progress? Oh shit, it changed my entire thing. Let's just go 999, 9 wickets of 450 overs. The entire test match is going to be put down in this one card. I am a complete and utter fool. 9 for 999. And then if I edit Nathan Lyon and be like, hey, he was bowled by your boy Stuart Broad for 232 from no delivery. Something. Oh, and I've crashed the game. Huzzah. Okay, so this looks more like a reasonable scorecard, surely. And you can even edit the extras here. I can just go ahead and be like, hey, I'm going to give you like a million leg buys, no balls, wides, all that jazz. And so, like, this is going to be, I think, really, really cool to see what people come up with, what scenarios they create, and especially the fact that we do have so many different win errors. Innings not valid. Oh no, bowling scorecard. Alright, I need to give one more run somewhere here. Give it to Warner, who apparently bowled. There we go. Runs 200 of 200. Hey! I made an innings. Huzzah! So England, we gave them 200 in the first innings. Australia, let's give them a solid like 240 or whatever. You know, not a big score. They have a slender lead, and that can be off another. Let's give them 80 overs or whatever worth of batting off 77 overs. So this is like pretty stock standard. Look at that, Willie. Did he make a hat trick here? Bang, bang, bang. And are we all out here? Steve Smith, 72 from 152. Josh Hazelwood, mate, you are absolutely run out by Jason Roy. Australia done and dusted, and their runs have been allocated accordingly. Fantastic. So that's innings number 2 done. Innings number 3. What's the current status of the game? England made, what did they make? Australia made 235. I don't actually know what the status of the game is at this point. But let's give England 300 or so runs. Actually, let's give them more than that. Let's say they made 450 in, and only 306 overs left. So let's say they batted 140 overs or something. So there's still a lot of time left in the game. So in 123.4, and I don't even know how Stuart Broad and I don't know how Anderson made a million runs there. But he's going to be bowled by your boy Mitchell Stark. So England then all out for 455. And we're then down to Australia. And let's make it a little bit interesting here. So what we're going to do is we're going to simulate. We're going to say Australia's going to be 4 down. And this is where the scenarios get really interesting here. So say it's been about 8 overs, maybe 9 overs. 9 overs. Australia's going to be 4 for 27. So you've lost a lot of your key players, and we're going to go back here. And this is going to be our scenario, and we're going to call it, oh Jesus. Chase, win the damn game. So this is just the start. This is the test. So basically, we've made our scenario. I'm kind of a little disappointed that there's no way to see like, I guess in this space, it would be good to see what the current status of the game is. So I can't even look back at the old innings because they're now complete. So basically, at this point in the match, can I view the overall scorecard? I don't think so. Maybe I'll look back at whatever I did. So England would have had about a 300-run lead, and it would have been like chase that remaining 200 or whatever with whatever you've got left. You know, with the 6 wickets you have remaining. So it definitely makes it. So basically, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to piece together the 4 innings and work out what the actual scenario required is. So I've put the 4 scores on the screen that I ended up creating here. So England made 200 in the first innings. I gave Australia 235 in the second. I gave England 455 in the third innings, obviously their second innings, and then I put Australia at 4 for 27 after 9 overs. So Australia would need 393 more with 6 wickets in hand. Now that's a tough task, obviously, in the real world and even in a video game. And obviously, so we would be 4 for 27, Marcus Harris at the crease. And if you are doing these yourself and you did want, you know, specific bowlers or specific batsmen to be in. So if you wanted David Warner to be in, you would put Marcus Harris out instead. If you wanted Khawaja to be in, you know, you would knock out the rest of Smith, Head, and Harris and Warner. So it would be, you know, the way you want to build the scenario around who you want remaining. If you wanted it to be, you know, Warner's on 150 or Steve Smith's on 200 runs and he's batting with just the 4 tail, you can create that scenario. So I really think it's up to you as to how you want to go about it. I definitely do think we need something to tell us sort of in this space here, I guess, what the actual scenario is, because if you know, you are just looking at this and you're like, oh, I don't remember what I did. Now it says editing, and if I hit edit, I don't know if it's going to like kill everything else. So that's why I don't want to do that. But that's pretty much it for the scenario mode, guys. This is sort of my most basic one I can come up with. Again, as I said, you can create a billion different win opportunities. You can say, you know, Australia, you know, needs to win with, you know, how many balls. You got to win the match in 7 deliveries, which is obviously impossible. You got to win in 1,000 deliveries. Oh no, you win it when you face the 1,000th ball. You know, you win it if you draw the match. If you go on to draw this match, which is big impossible because you got like 200 and whatever overs to go. I mean, it would be a long match, but you know, you could do it. You know, if you have to get a certain amount of wickets, if you need to get a certain amount of stumpings, if you say hit 10 boundaries and you win this match, even though it's only 40 runs, you could just have that as your scenario. If you wanted to have that with the last 2 batsmen and say, hey, you know, it's the 3rd innings of a test match, but if you hit 10 4s or 10 6s, you win the match. So again, it is up to you guys how you want to build these scenarios, and I'm very, very cool to see how it all plays out. I would love to obviously see if we can get something that can actually show us a bit of a scenario recap on the right hand side of the page here. I think that'd be great. Otherwise, that is it for the scenario mode, guys, for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I can't wait to see what you all come up with in this mode and what creations you and scenarios you're going to make me play through, which I'm sure there will be plenty of them. But that is it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. Demo. We're going to be looking at a couple of things today, more specifically in this video, because I've been doing a couple of videos on this. We're going to go to the training section and we're going to actually have a look at all of the Australian and England players in the game and I guess their likenesses. So let's start off here